Hello, and welcome to the first game of this limited Sabbat Chronicle, a bit of Ultraviolence. As a warning, this is an adult game dealing with dark and potentially triggering subject matter. If something feels like too much for you, feel free to take a break, skip a scene, come back later, or whatever's best for you. So with that said, let's go ahead and meet our cast to start with. So let's kick it off with Ellie.
Hi everyone, I am Ellie Collins and I will be playing Christina, the La Sombra.
Oh my god. And Zach?
Hi, I'm Zachary Vaudo, and I am playing Dante Edmonds, the Missy.
Andrew?
I'm Andrew Strother, and I'm playing Ezra Cohen, the Ventru.
And Sam?
Hi everyone, I'm Samantha McLarty, and I'm going to be playing Wright, Malkavian.
And our special guest for tonight, we have Jay with us.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay. I will be playing Oliver Larkin, the reason you're all here.
And I am your storyteller for this evening, Lex. So let's get started. 4 Sabbat members make their way to the city this evening. The city is like every other one there is, providing entertainment and home to kindred and kine alike, requiring nothing more than a brief drive to get from one to the other. There are upscale cocktail bars and dives within sight of each other, mega mansions and crack houses sharing neighborhoods, imposing towers of metal and glass as easily found as the sweaty offices of the unlicensed contractors of all kinds. The city has been under the hold of Prince Aidan for as long as anyone has bothered to remember, and he keeps a tight leash on the kindred of his city, never allowing any one clan to get too big or too powerful. It's a careful dance, a fine line to ride, and it's about to come to an end one way or the other, as our PCs cross the invisible line into Aiden's territory and gather on the outskirts to meet the, until now, unseen patron who arranged their arrival here. Let's join our cast.
So storyteller, did we all write in together or separately?
That's sort of up to you guys. You did all come from different packs, so you might have chosen to meet up somewhere else first, or you might all just be coming together at this spot where Oliver Larkin is standing and waiting.
I will say that I drove myself.
I'm going to say that I came alone.
Same, definitely would have come by myself.
Likewise.
Would hope so. All right, so
as
4
we know.
vehicles, as far as you know, 4 vehicles of varying types are converging on your position, Larkin. This is the moment you put together.
And Larkin's standing up against a bridge abutment, just kind of leaning there and waiting for the vehicles to show up. He seems a little surprised by 4 separate ones, but gives you a nod, at least towards the headlights, to show that he's the person you're supposed to meet.
And I will get out of my car and wave and make my way over and stop at kind of a respectful distance out and just, hi.
Good evening. Are you...
Ezra gets out of his car and continues walking up and just eyes Christina up and down and walks past her up to Oliver. And, I mean, what the fuck? Why are we here? Are there others coming? I mean, what's the deal? You didn't tell us anything.
I called, and supposedly they were sending the best. Are you the one in charge?
Unless you want a Giggle Cheeks over here to be in charge. I mean...
Oh, we'll fight about that later.
Sure we will.
I get out of the back seat of the car and walk up. Ah.
Oh.
Good evening.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm Larkin. What should I call you guys?
Dante Edmonds.
Dante.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course, welcome to the city.
I've been here before.
Are there now, there are alleys and such around, yes?
Yeah, you're sort of on the
Alleyways.
outskirts of cities, so it's sort of that like warehousey kind of district. So they're not like drivable alleys, but there's definitely some dark corridors if you'd like them for. Some
Alright,
reason.
yeah. I'm just gonna come from one of those dark corridors then. And I'm not saying a word, I'm just gonna come in and,
Hi, I'm Christina.
How are you?
Good.
So, this is kind of my first time doing something like this, so I don't know how you guys usually operate. Do you need a list or?
Why don't you
I
start
would
from the
imagine
top?
that would help.
Okay. So, did they give you really much of a rundown on how we were going to be approaching this?
I got told to
Really?
show up to make trouble.
Okay.
That's pretty much what you all heard. You got sent here, you were
Hi.
told that there was some carnage to be made, and here you are.
I was just given a time and a place.
All right. Well, this city's been running fine, if you know what I mean. It's been running okay, right? But I have a feeling like it could be run a lot better, and by that I mean a lot better. It's time for a shakeup, and I have a couple contacts among your bosses, should we say, and they agreed to send a group to come deal with a couple of problems that I've been having.
Yeah, you weren't kidding, were you? This really fucking is your first time.
Apparently.
Kind of.
Didn't
You look
seem to
nervous.
realize that was alright.
Are you nervous,
Well.
Oliver?
Well, when 4 cars roll up and then one person comes in out of the shadows at me, I'm you know, you guys could just decide that you don't actually care about the gains and benefits that could be had tonight, and maybe just eat me instead. So, and there's not, I mean, I'm gonna be straight up, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I mean, it's not gonna give
Is that
you
an
much.
option?
Why don't you tell us what the gains and benefits are, and we'll decide from there.
Well, thick.
I mean, that's kind of the dealing with like every kindred ever.
I guess so.
So,
Thick blood, as much as you can handle, and a way in with each of them.
okay.
I've got a couple people I would prefer you don't touch, but
Oh,
why?
what?
Who are they?
Really? We have like stipulations, like there's people that we don't need to touch, like we can't. Come on.
I'll
You called for us to come and do things, and you're expecting us to like.
I imagine
Like,
he
show
wants us
up?
to do the actual
Really?
things he called about and not stupid shit that we shouldn't do. Sounds
has a
pretty fucking
plan.
easy to me.
I can get you started. I can get you started. Where
point
you
us
go
in a
after that's
direction.
up to you.
Uh-huh.
So
I mean,
You
so-
met me
so how many
before?
are we
Oh,
talking?
that's right. No, you haven't.
we're gonna take apart the whole court, the whole damn thing.
Okay.
I've promised your bosses a piece of the edge, piece of the city, in exchange for dealing with a couple problems we've been having within the court. That's probably all you care to know.
Yeah.
Okay, and which means you get as much chaos as you can handle, which I've heard is kind of what you guys are all about. Okay, all right.
Except for the ones that you said are off limits.
Well,
right?
I mean, I just am going to make sure that you don't get anywhere near them.
And just go twice as hard on the ones that we're allowed to touch. Jesus.
I wouldn't say you're not allowed. I feel like that's just asking for trouble. I'll just keep them out of your way.
Who are they?
The people you're going after?
No, the ones that you don't want us to.
That's not important at this point.
Oh, he's got a little smarts in him. That's cute. All right, who are we killing?
What's the old adage? The Nosferatu are the first to die.
I didn't know that was an adage, but I like it.
Yeah, there's some kind of a
Neither.
saying surrounding that. We're gonna go with that.
Okay.
Guy's name
They
is.
are the information controllers. It would make the most sense.
Okay, all right. Speaking of smarts, you understand why I planned it out this way. If word's going to get out from anybody about this little plan, it's going to come from Pear. He's in charge of, well, every piece of information that goes into and out of this city. And believe me, I had to spend a pretty penny keeping this out of his hands. So he's got to go. Fortunately, I mean, normally you'd never find him, but fortunately I've arranged a meeting, and assuming, you guys play ball and do a decent job on this, I'll set you loose with a list of names, and, you guys can have what you want. Eat your fill, so to speak.
How many nights are you wanting to have this little ordeal take?
This has got to happen in one.
Quick and clean, or not so clean. I like it.
Quick and messy. We're sending a message. You seem like you're the right people to do that.
So pretty much, one night only, we cause as much chaos as possible, work through this little grocery list that you have, and we get a piece of the spoils.
That's correct. That's the plan.
All right.
And I'll be working on my end
like
to make
that.
sure that you don't get police heat on you, media, any of that stuff. I'm going to do everything I can. As long as you guys are keeping me updated on your position when the calls go out, we'll do what we can to knock it down. You get too big, you get too noisy, maybe, try to avoid actively blowing buildings up. Fires are okay, but if you're going to be using high explosive, at least give me a bit of a heads up. I'll give you my details, and he hands a card to you.
take it.
Okay, all right, cool. It probably is out towards Dante at first, and then you take it.
What does it say?
It's got his name as well as it just says Larkin actually on it, and a couple of contact details, including a set of geographic coordinates.
Okay. I'm gonna check it and then hand it to Dante.
Okay.
Look it over and then continue to hand it down the line.
The geographic coordinates are actually not too far northeast of here, towards further out towards the edge of the city. You get the sense it's probably like a neutral meeting site that he often uses. It's probably nothing where like a haven or a normal hangout would be. This is like his when you meet for shady stuff. He's probably got a card for this kind of job specifically.
Okay,
So the card gets handed down the line to, I assume, Ezra, and then probably to Wright.
I'm gonna put it in my back pocket.
Yeah, we're never seeing that again. Did you, and I look over to Christina, did you get all that? I mean, somebody's got to keep track of the numbers and information. You seem like you got secretary written all over you, so I want to make sure that you keep track of the important information.
Call
this is
me
gonna be
secretary
good.
again. Call me secretary again, and we'll see what happens. Fucking
I'm gonna
venture trash,
nudge,
You're all the same.
I'm gonna nudge Larkin and be like, pay attention, this is gonna get really good.
I realize.
Come on,
that
guys,
your
don't make me a
clan-
liar.
I realize that your clan thinks that you're the hot shit, but listen, the Bruja made jokes out of you, so maybe step back and let the La Sombra work, okay?
Oh, this didn't have anything to do with clans. This was just the vibes I got off of you in particular. We haven't even touched clans yet.
That's cute! A Ventru with misogyny. I've never seen it before. Truly unique, groundbreaking even.
Oh, we're going to have work to do.
I think you might.
Oh no, this is
We
great.
have
sorting
work
out
to
to
do. Where are we going? Details, chop chop.
Do you guys need a little bit of time to hash this out, and then we'll go meet with
No.
Pear?
Yes,
No?
yes. Let them have more time to hash it out. Come on, guys.
I feel like this is going to
Seriously?
work out on the fly. Let it just be the flavor for the night. No need to force it now.
Okay, all right.
Look, right. I'll rip out his lungs through his asshole later, but we got to get started.
You can't threaten
I was
me with a
just
good
starting
time.
to
But
be
anyway, let's.
entertained.
What do we got?
Oh,
All
I'll
right.
make it a great time, darling. Let's go.
45 minutes. I've got a meeting with Pear. I'm going to have an introduction. We'll have a little conversation. Then you guys can show up, and I'll do my best to keep them pinned down while you do the deed.
Are we showing up like, oh my god, a surprise attack, or are we showing up like your backup out of nowhere?
I mean, roll it how you want. I figure this is a good way to
Alright.
determine how you guys are going to do this. Think of it as a tryout for you, too. Because, you know, they did say they were sending the best.
You keep
I mean, they
saying that
did in
like you
my
don't
case.
believe it.
I mean,
Well, it sounds like you're going to get to see it firsthand. So, I mean, when the shit goes down, what happens to you? Where do you go? What's the deal?
I'm going to bail, and I'll give you instructions for the next... Well, I mean, you can tackle it how you want, but I'm not giving you the keys to the city until I can see you can do the job. That's really what it comes down to. If you're going to run ramshot all over the city and just cause chaos, not give us anything worth anything, then, you know, it's probably better that you just head on. So-
One moment, storyteller. I'm going to do something real quick because he's being rude. Oh goodness. So with 7 successes critical, I am going to let out Arms of Ahriman, and I'm going to wrap one around his neck. And I'm going to go, we're putting a lot of trust in you to do this job for you before getting paid. So let me just make it perfectly fucking clear that if you fuck us, I will make all of your outsides your insides, and your insides your outsides. Do I have that crystal clear?
It's crystal. But I'm also putting my city in your hands to do with as you please. And I gotta know you can do the job before I go staking my rep on it. Is that clear?
Don't ever
Staking.
fucking doubt me. And I'm
He
gonna
said
let go.
staking.
And I'm going to draw back in the Arms of Ahriman.
Oh, come on, that was funny. Really?
So
Nobody?
Larkin, this was like nothing you've ever really seen before. You've like heard of the La Sombra, and there's La Sombra in the court, but they don't do shit like that in the city.
Right.
That was something else for you.
So, Larkin looks shaken, but he definitely is. You probably actually get a little glimpse behind the curtain on that maybe just maybe he's been playing I don't know what I'm doing just a little bit more, because he gets cold instead of getting scared. So for a moment there he lets it slip, and then he's back to being maybe a little bit nervous and sketched out. Wow, that was wow. That was something. Okay, well, you know what? Confidence restored.
Most men say that about me. Let's go.
45 minutes, you said?
45 minutes.
There's plenty of time for us to get to know each other.
And he,
Oh.
I like you, creepy.
I'm
We're gonna
gonna
be great friends.
I'm gonna send you a text. Give me a phone number. I'm gonna send you a text with a location.
All right, here.
Does that even work with you?
Look, it's a razor, okay? It's fine.
All right. Well, hash out whatever you two, and I point to the venture in La Sombra. Whatever you two have to hash it out. We're gonna come into this clean. Just I'll see you in 45 minutes.
All right.
He walks off.
Bye now. I'll just turn and look at everybody. Oh, if we're going to do this, we'll need to be getting along a bit better.
Oh, I don't
Do we
know
want
what
to
you're
do this
talking
the
about. I'm
expedited
having
way,
a
or do we want to
great
talk it
time.
out?
I like her.
I'm having a
I like
great
her
time.
too.
Get along well. And your
So do we want to do this the
necklace is
expedited way, or do we want to hash it out?
I mean, 10 minutes ago we had 45 minutes, so I feel like the clock is ticking. We can move things along a little more quickly.
Come with me then. I'll walk back towards the car.
okay.
And as you get close to the car, you see why Dante got out of the back seat. There are a set of arms just attached to the driver's seat on the steering wheel. And sitting, like, buckled in is just a large metal, like, cup. No stem, just cup. You pull it out, and it's very clearly caked with blood on the bottom. And he goes, I like to call this the speed run get along. Shall we?
Okay.
Oh, hell yes. Let's do this.
Oh my god.
I hold the cup out along with the claws, fingertips towards people, and I'm going to be drawing blood in one at a time as they provide. And just go.
Me first.
Let's go. Friends, we are gathered here to partake in the most joyous of occasions, the most interesting of experiences, and the closest of bonds. Finally cut myself and put the blood in, stir it, and pass it over one at a time to everybody. Let us be united tonight in our common goal, and let's let the animal out, shall we?
Good
And
shit.
once everybody drinks, per the Black Handbook, we all have a bond strength of 1 united to each other. There, that should help things out a little bit.
Look at us. Besties already. Stoked.
So how do we want to go about surprising this person?
Well, he didn't give us much to go off now, did he? Like, location, time. I mean, is there going to be shit to deal with? Are there going to be, ranks we got to plow through? Apparently, we can't blow buildings up, which seems to me like the most simple answer in this situation. But,
Right?
we're going to have to,
Damn it.
unless we do. We blow it up, we blow this guy up with it, we just take what we can get and we leave.
You just have to be a little bit more creative.
He said that there were more people, and I kind of want to see where that goes.
If we're going to be playing around with the entire city, then we have to take things a step at a time.
Look, we'll just get the list from him, and then we'll fuck him. All right?
Does that mean you're gonna fuck him literally? I'm just curious.
Whatever you want to do with
If
your
I
private
did that,
time,
it would be
please.
with my shadow arms, honey. Okay? Ugh.
I mean, I'm good with either. I just want to watch.
That's not a no.
It's not a no. It's a
Sweet.
Well, I suppose we could, Oh, he didn't give us a location yet, did he?
I got it on the phone.
Oh, it's on the card? Is
On
the
the
location on the card where we're meeting, or is that a separate thing?
No, he took my phone to text
Okay,
us
cool.
the info.
Yeah,
Alright.
the info's on
I-
on her phone.
Well, we could,
Yeah.
we could spend the time scouting out the location, or we could get to know some of the denizens of the city.
I would prefer to just slink in the shadows and figure out what we're doing.
Very well.
Because we don't know this building. If somebody wants to Google it, because I can't.
Mr. Businessman, and I gesture towards the venture. Do you wish to?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. As uncomfortable as it is for me, I have to agree with Bubblegum over here. I think the best thing to do is move our way quietly, quickly. We don't really have time to ask questions. Let's watch. Let's observe. Look for an opening, and when it comes, we got to take it. This one we got to play, hot and heavy, fast and loose.
That's perfectly fine by me. I've got ways to observe the area myself. So, our shadowy friend here, Christine, was it?
Christina.
Christina. Christina will be very shadowy. I will have my methods, and you two, whose names I did not get, what are your approaches? And also your
Ezra.
names.
And I figure I walk up and don't get noticed.
Ezra. Very good. And you, dear?
I'm right.
About what?
Everything, all the time.
Oh, Mrs. Wright.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Wright, do you have a plan for observing the area as well?
I mean, I have lots of special tricks that I can do to get me into places so that nobody remembers that I'm even there.
Wonderful. Then
I also have ways to
you're
make
one of
people
those.
come out of places because they think that the building might have exploded when it actually didn't.
wonderful. Then I would like to suggest that the two of you, Ezra and Wright, go the mundane approach. Christina here will go the shadow approach, and I will go my approach. And
No, what's your approach? I must know now. You know ours. It's only
I'm
fair.
just going to get a feel of the land, understand the
Ew.
area a bit more before we dive into it.
I already know I'm not gonna like that.
Oh, I'm gonna love it. Do it.
When we get there.
You know,
And then
could
I suppose we can
pencil-
converge
I could pencil something in for you. I have a stick in my bag. Just a little something.
Why?
Oh,
She doesn't think you're perfect.
nope.
That is travesty. I'll have to improve upon that. We have so many people to meet. I'm sure I can find things to improve upon.
Oh, God,
Over the course of the night.
stand your clan. Anyway, let's go.
As lovely as all this is, we're now
Yeah,
under 30 minutes.
We're burning moonlight. Let's go.
Let's head over there, and we will sort things out.
I look over at Wright. I'm like, unless you want to drive with your ally here, you wanna ride with me?
I mean, I gotta ride, but sure, I'll ride with you. No problem. You think I'm gonna bring what I'm actually driving to meet strangers so that you will know that what I'm driving to? Please, not an
Poor
amateur.
assumption on my part. Pardon me, and I open the door.
And I will get in.
Fuck
And I-
me, I
House
guess.
car-
I'll take my car.
There.
I open the back door and get back into my car.
I'll go back to my car.
All right. So we'll just the address gets disseminated. Christina texts it around or some way to everyone.
It's a razor. It takes me a minute.
There you go. So the address he's given you is the 11th Street Bridge, which is a bridge that connects what's kind of considered the good part of town with the bad part of town. It's not one of those like massive Brooklyn Street bridges, but it's a little bigger than just one of those like one-car passovers. It's a historic site in the city and has tons of articles about people trying to knock it down and rebuild it, historical sites that are trying to get it preserved, all that sort of stuff. It's not far from you. It's only about a 10-minute drive from where you are, so the 45 minutes he gave you seems to assume he thought you guys were going to take a lot longer to get your shit together.
I'm gonna make sure to park probably about 2 blocks away, and then just make my happy way through the shadows to get over there.
Mundanely, like just stick into the shadows, or are you doing spooky stuff?
I am currently just sticking to the shadows.
Okay.
Mundanely.
Which is a word, I'm sure.
Yes.
Everyone arrives there without any real issue. You can feel free to park pretty much as close or as far away as you'd like.
Well, while we're driving, I would have like maybe been trying to chat with Wright and just been like, I mean, everybody, you can see things, right? You know things. I'm trying to be very casual, but you get you get a sense, yeah.
Sure. What do you want to know?
Just is there anything anything about me you can tell me? I'm almost. You're probably even getting the feeling that I'm like overdoing the like awkward bumbling thing, but any of that foresight shit that you could throw this way about tonight or me in particular, just whatever you might have, if you got anything.
Oh, absolutely. I could totally do that. Okay, so you just kind of got to relax for a minute, and then I'm just going to touch you just a little bit. Can I touch you? Is that okay? I can touch you, right?
I mean, don't get crazy. We're driving here,
It's fine. I'm just gonna touch you, and she'll put her hands on like your shoulders, and she's gonna kind of like knead at your shoulders, like she's almost like she's massaging, but like barely, like with her fingers. And then she's just gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'm totally getting something. It's just like, oh shit, dude. Bad luck for you, bro. Sorry. It's fine though. Don't think about it too much. We'll be fine.
Yeah, no, I regret all of most of tonight, actually, up until this moment. I regret most of it. Oh, look, we're here. Okay, all right. Let's not talk about that ever again. Look, I'm gonna park here, and maybe we walk up, try and be relaxed, try and be chill, and we'll see.
Yeah. You don't want to stress out too much, because I mean, like I said, if I were you, I would go about this the most unventrue way that you can, because that's not the way you want to do it here. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
Maybe
that
then
under
things will
advisement.
change.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's solid advice. I'm gonna file that away. Definitely think about it later.
Good.
And about that time, I swing the car into a side street. I can park along the curb.
So you
And,
probably
as
catch
soon as he-
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. I was just gonna say, as soon as he does that, I'm just gonna look back and be like, so what about you, creepy? Do you want me to see if I can get a sense on you too?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Oh, perhaps later.
Well, despite what Shadow Lady said, I kind of like the look. It's very versatile.
Thank you. I like to change things up from time to time.
I'm familiar with that.
Would you like to be more familiar?
I've already had some work done, but maybe later.
It's very lovely,
We'll talk.
Wack, but if you ever wish to have an improvement, you too, my dear friend. The fingertip just like kind of graze Ezra's cheek from the back seat. You too, my friend.
Yeah, no, this is entirely unnecessary, and this is very fine Italian leather. So if you could not do anything in this car, that would
Nothing
be
in the
really
car.
fantastic.
I have a location for this. Not to worry.
Yeah, of course you do. That checks.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going
Can
to.
I touch? Can I just touch just a little? Can I touch just a little? I won't do what I did with him, but I'm just curious because like, it's fascinating.
All right, and I'll just hold my hand out for her.
Ooh. Oh, and it feels genuine.
It is.
Ah, amazing.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get a lay of the land, and I'll step out of the back seat. How close are we to the bridge, Ezra? How close did you park?
I put us. I would think maybe like a no more than 10-minute walk from where we're heading. So close enough to the
Perfect.
bridge.
That's within the distance. So, I'll walk out, turn, just wave at them, and then I sink down below the eye line of the car hood, and I'm gone. And I've succeeded in my 2 rouse checks. I am now one with the land, and I will be experiencing the events of a mile radius from where I am.
Oh my god.
Which we can go over
glance
the course
over, and I see a homeless person
People that are up
peeing
on
in an
top
alley.
can experience it more.
Sorry, what was that, Ezra?
I was saying at that moment I look over and see like somebody peeing in an alley, and I just imagine how he is experiencing a mile's worth of the land. I roll my eyes and start walking.
So you're able to experience, like, you know who's within a mile of you? Is that?
Yes, I can. I not only know who's within a mile of me, I can listen to conversation, I can catch a scent of them or the city scent, I can feel footsteps. If something is being concealed or intentionally hidden, there's a challenge roll, but I'm just interconnected with a mile of land, not even dirt, like metal, steel, concrete land.
Okay. So a couple hundred yards away, just down the road and up one of the side streets in kind of the suburban flop area, you would be aware of Larkin sitting on the porch of one of the houses, just kind of waiting.
And I'm out of the scene for the moment, so everybody else can go about their things. I will return when it's time to return.
So, for the rest of you who are not now part of the land, you have the visual over this whole place, and you've come across on the not-so-good side of town, because of course that's where the warehouse district would be. So on your side of this bridge, there are run-down houses, storefronts with the out-of-business wood in the windows, homeless people sleeping in the streets, a couple of hookers well past their best before date selling their wares a few blocks down.
Bless their heart.
But on the other side of the bridge, you can already see the very clear difference. That side of the bridge, there are gleaming buildings, apartments have balconies. There's one... It would be impressively tall if it wasn't so much taller than every other building in sight. You're not sure if it's some kind of hotel or an apartment or a business of some kind, but it is, for all lack of a better word, erect into the sky.
Amazing.
But it's
Yes,
it is
choice of word.
right. It is clear no one on your side of the bridge probably spends much time on the other side of the 11th Street Bridge. The underside of the bridge, though, is surprisingly empty. All of you have done enough traveling and enough seeing the wrong side of the tracks before to realize there's usually a homeless population under a bridge like this. You usually have the trash can fires and the tent cities. There is no one under this bridge. There's trash, there's an abandoned car, maybe at one point there was a tent city down here, but there are no people living under this bridge like you would expect.
Are there any like hipsters going about, like the kinds of hipsters that come to areas like this and think it's cute and we should get a, exposed brick loft kind of thing?
Not quite like that. You're in a little too trashy of town.
Okay.
There does appear to be one car that's a little too nice for the neighborhood, that as you guys are exploring has driven around the block a couple of times. And it clearly doesn't belong here. And you can see a couple of homeless people and a couple of sort of thugs sitting on their stoop that are starting to eye up this car that's driving around the block.
Is it like slow rolling or just regular speed limit driving?
No, it seems to be slow rolling. It is not Larkin's car, though, because you guys saw his car when he was standing there. This is not Larkin's car.
I am going to take out my phone and I am going to walk towards the sidewalk, somewhere where I'm clearly visible. And I'm going to be loudly on the phone, just like, I have horrible signal. No, I don't know where I am. My Uber dropped me off in the wrong spot. I don't know. If I saw a street sign, I would know where I was, but I don't see a street sign. So can you just like drive towards the bridge? I'm sure you'll find me, just like trying to draw attention to myself as this car is going on.
Car slows down, and it's a nicer car than you realized. It's kind of filthy, but it's quite a new car. And the passenger window comes down, and popped collar I pledged a frat sticks his head out the window and is like, "Hey babe, you need a ride? You okay?"
Oh my god, my friend's on her way. But like, do you know what street this is?
11th.
11th. Okay. Oh my god.
'Cause the bridge.
Yeah, sorry. My Uber dropped me off. I'm not from here. I don't know where the fuck I am. Do you know how to get to the Marriott? The one that's in the city? I don't know where I am. I'm so sorry. I just know I'm staying at the Marriott.
Yeah, here, come on. Do you want to ride, babe?
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
All right. And they there seems to be a bit of an almost verbal slap fight that occurs in the car. Like, put her in the backseat. I'm not getting in the backseat. You get in the back. I'll drive the car. I'm already driving the car. And finally, the guy in the passenger seat gets out and he opens the passenger door for you.
Oh my gosh, what a gentleman. Thank you. And I'm going to get in the car.
And as he shuts the door behind you, you hear him go, cheaper than one of the hookers.
You go, what?
So where did you say you were from?
I'm from Connecticut.
My sister goes to college in Connecticut.
Really? What's her name?
Marissa?
Oh my gosh. I wonder if we have classes together. I don't really know many of the other ones. Has she pledged a sorority yet?
Yeah. She's a Kappa Delta Pi.
Oh my god, me too!
Oh
my god!
So cool. You know, I was gonna go to school in Connecticut, and he's getting in the back seat still chatting with you.
Really? Oh my god. Look. You know what? The Lord is working through you. This is amazing. Like, I can't believe it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, alright. And the passenger guy doesn't seem, or the driver doesn't seem quite as into this interaction as the passenger was. He's definitely just like, hi.
Hi.
Hey. And,
What's up? You seem like a gloomy Gus.
It has been a long time since someone called me that. Which hotel did you say you were staying at? One of the Marriotts? Is that the Marriott Chalet or the Marriott Renaissance or the Marriott Pinnacle or the Waterfront Marriott? My dad owns the Waterfront Marriott, so.
I think it is the Waterfront. It's the one with like, just the gorgeous view. They put me on like the 6th floor and that view is absolutely to die for.
Yeah, we can take you there, and they start to drive away, now getting up to what would be a car driving speed.
Okay. And as they start to get to a driving speed, I'm going to go...
Something terrible happens.
I'm going to look at my phone and go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My friend, like, just arrived back where I was. What are your names? So I can, like, tell her, like... that you've picked me up, and then if she knows the name, she won't worry.
And the driver goes, Bill, and the passenger's like, well, I'm Adam, but, you know, it would be super easy for us to just take you to your hotel. I mean, you're already here, you know, we could help you get settled in, you know.
You are so nice. I love it.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, this is a sure thing.
6 successes. Arms of Araman. 1 grabs the steering wheel to be safe.
Safety first.
The other one applies the brake to pull over, and all of this is happening at once. So before they know that I am now driving the car with shadow arms, other 2 remaining shadow arms are going to shoot through their chest, remove their hearts, and bring them back to me.
Fabulous.
And
so
I
this
will go
all
down
happens.
to 0 hunger.
Yeah, you will. This all happens in very, very quickly, just a little more than a fraction of a second. The driver never even sees it coming. He has basically 1 second to figure it out, and that 1 second is spent being like, what the hell? As the wheel is no longer his to control. Backseat McDouchebag has no idea what's about to hit him. He just gets flattened into the backseat, rips his heart right out. He has a second of still just kind of like blinking at you as his body continues to live for that probably 10 more seconds.
That's my favorite part.
And so he sits there bleeding copiously, more than he could ever hope to stop, even if his heart was still in his chest, as he watches you eat his heart.
And then I am going to drive the car to where a parking lot, kind of the opposite few blocks away from where I parked my car. And then I'm going to get out, kind of rush over to where I see Ezra, but not in an inconspicuous fashion. So be like, secured us a getaway car.
You got a little bit right there.
Oops.
All right, cool. I mean, we had cars when we came here, but that's fine. That was a valuable use of your time. I'm very sure. I'm so very happy to have you.
Those are cars that everyone has seen you in. People know you own those cars.
People, do they? Most people that see me don't remember me.
You know, that is what I told him. That's why I didn't bring mine to the meetup. I parked it a good way away.
And
That's because you're smart. I just hop.
Play your cards right. You might not remember me after tonight, you know?
Oh, that would be a true tragedy, wouldn't it?
And we'd all cry a tear. We're running up on time. What happened? No one's heard from Land Guy, right? He fucking shit when they do that. Did those guys have anything to do with any, or were you just having fun? You were just having fun and getting a car. Sorry, you were getting a car.
I secured us a getaway vehicle, since apparently we have to do all of this in one night. So I sure would like to use someone else's gas and identity to do that.
You know,
well, I'm stoked. Like,
gas prices have been skyrocketing. That's insightful of you. I appreciate the foresight there, I suppose. But I'm gonna make my way, if anyone wants to follow me, towards this building. See if our buddy, what's his name, Larky, whatever it was, has arrived, and see what's going down.
Sure, let's do that. By the way, I'm kind of jealous you got to have fun. I've just been standing here telling him his future and all. Like,
I mean,
that's all I've been doing.
They're still in the car, so we'll call it a road snack.
Oh, I don't want to eat them.
Oh,
but I do want to do things to them.
You can do whatever you want. They are missing their hearts, though. Sorry.
It's more fun when they're still alive.
I'll get you one on the way.
Oh, good.
All right. So you three start heading towards the bridge where you're meant to meet up. Dante, you are Earth.
Yes.
Yes. So this place has the mundane, rundown part of town stuff, all the things you're used to. You've done this a lot. You've been in places like this.
Yes.
Is there anything or anyone particular you're looking for?
Looking for other kindred aside from the ones I came with in the immediate area. I want to be aware when they show up.
Right. So you do get the sense that there's a small population of kindred down towards the water from where you are. They're sort of on the very edge of what you can feel. So they're not like way close to you. But theoretically, if you were to, say, blow up a building, they would definitely know about it very quickly. You're also, of course, aware of Larkin waiting around in this area.
Over near the water, so from the vantage point of any insects or any other like animal life that would be in the area, can I get a sense of like visually what they are? Like, do they look particularly Nosferatu, or do they just look like an assortment of kindred? Do they look important?
They definitely do not look important. They're a group of... One of them's wearing, like, a jean jacket straight out of 1984, full acid wash. The other one has a nicer leather jacket, but it's got a fringe on it. They're that kind of... One might call them riffraff. But while you are in the ground, you do get the sudden and abrupt sense of another kindred entering this area. And they are down and under the bridge.
I will transition my position to roughly that area as I sense it more.
It almost it almost overloads you for a second, because not only has another kindred entered this area, but they appear to have come with a swarm of toads following along behind them.
So I can see them very clearly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you all of a sudden see them from about a jillion different perspectives that are all very similar hoppy perspectives.
Yes. We just take observation.
This figure is pretty clearly Nosferatu. They are malformed. They're in a long gray trench coat, but the trench coat, it almost looks like it's hiding 3 children pretending to be an adult, because it bulges in like 3 different directions underneath this trench coat. Larkin, you have been informed that Pear has arrived and is waiting for his meeting with you.
And they still haven't found me yet.
Yeah.
Well, is the address that you gave us where to meet you, or the building where the meeting would take place?
It's the spot under the bridge where the meeting would take place, but Larkin is not currently there.
Okay, we're going to the address Larkin gave us.
Larkin, are you heading down to...
I suppose I will. I had been waiting at a secondary location to kind of catch their attention, but I don't think they ever came up the street my way.
I mean, if you want to catch their attention, you probably saw this car doing its very odd stuff, and then a lovely young woman getting in the car and then getting out of the car looking much more pleased with herself than when she got in the car.
That's fair. I'm going to kind of step out into where their eye line is while they're having their conversation, and just kind of towards one of the houses along that block.
Yeah, we'll say Larkin steps out, and it's as Christina was heading back towards Ezra, and right just after this little car interaction, Larkin steps out. Not close enough that he could have been of any danger to you. No one missed something with where he steps out of. So he comes out and...
Subtle. The walking up, obviously thing. You about to head to your deal?
He totally copied me.
Follow me.
Yeah, it was way cooler than when you did. I mean, let's be real.
Right?
For one thing, I'm scared of you legitimately. I'm not so much of this guy. Oh, sorry, you're here. So what's you going to your
the
thing?
Sweetest thing.
We can talk inside. Follow me.
Follow along.
Okay, so it's a rundown little hidey hole of a house that the windows have been smashed in. There's club music playing inside. It's obviously not a place that he frequents regularly, but is kind of like a little fallback location. He walks into the living room where there's a guy asleep on the couch and just goes, "Get out."
And this person kind of appears a little out of it. Maybe he's high, maybe you just woke him up from sleeping in a flop house. And he's like, okay. And he kind of stumbles towards the door. This will take him past you 3.
She just had fun. I haven't had fun yet. I want to have fun.
And Larkin just kind of shrugs like he doesn't give a shit about what happens, so...
I am, as he is going past, I want to just kind of... Man, I'm gonna do the thing.
The thing?
Uh-huh. No, I won't do that thing yet. I'll wait for that for later. I'll just do chemistry.
What do you want to do?
I'm just going to make him think that suddenly his pants are on fire. And I'm just gonna be like, "Oh shit, dude, liar, pants on fire. Damn."
Right, did you pass your rouse on that one?
I am making it now. I was pulling it up. Nope.
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 So, a very familiar voice speaks in your head. This is not at all unfamiliar, and it's not scary to you. You just take Larkin. You just take him and have him and fuck his plan. You could have the whole city. You could make the whole place yours.
I might. That's not out of the question yet. I want to have fun first. We talked about this.
Fun is a distraction from success.
You can do both, remember? All work, no play makes who the fuck ever a dull whatever.
That's how that saying goes.
Exactly.
And then you don't hear the voice again.
You're like,
by the way,
hey,
that shit was said right out loud, like.
yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
Okay.
You guys don't hear
Yep. No,
Really?
sweetheart, that's just you.
Now this is a human. Does he actually roll back against chemistry, or like some dominate powers, is it just like, poof, you suck?
Yeah, against mortals, there's a lot that's uncontested. Because they're
Figured as much.
I mean,
Figured
he can
as
attempt
much.
it if he wants. It would be versus composure and wits, but
I think
I
he'd
can
Goodness.
He'd have
Goodness,
to know.
no. My goodness, no. So this man goes very quickly from stumbling a little drunkenly past you to being like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? And he starts beating at his jeans, at his thighs.
You're supposed to run, remember? You're supposed to run.
Oh my
You
god!
don't just-
Oh my
you
god!
run.
And
Run.
he takes off past you and runs straight towards the bridge and just straight up and over the edge. Splash.
I really,
nothing
really
works
thought you
better.
were just gonna eat him. That's holy fuck. Okay,
But that was just fun.
right. Okay, and he walks over to the stereo system that's playing the music and just turns it up, like way up. Okay, now we can actually
going
have a
to-
conversation.
I'm going to stay away from the stereo.
There's definitely a little bit of crackling static as Christina gets a little too close to it and then
I'll be fine right here.
I was about to say, right would just grab you and move you.
Yeah, just
As you're
away or closer.
I start to go closer, and then I'll push her away, and then I'll pull her away.
right, like creating a Doppler effect with Christina. Just like, oh my god, stop.
What's playing on the stereo?
It's just some crappy like ye old club, like maybe dubstep. Like it's bad. Ye old dubstep.
It's just Sandstorm on
It's
loop.
Sandstorm. Yeah,
it's-
it's Sandstorm on a loop.
Oh my god.
It's like
Guys
4
having a
bars
party
of
of one in
Sandstorm
here.
just on repeat.
Dubstep.
Done in MIDI tones.
Yeah, exactly. And so yeah, he's got it cranked up, and he goes, okay, we can drop the "this is my first time" bullshit. Okay, so
I don't know why you were pulling that in the first place.
in case we were being observed,
Really?
at least we know right now that we can't. We're not going to get spotted here.
I've never seen something so fake that was simultaneously so convincing that I really still kind of believe it. But go ahead.
I was about to call you on that. That was straight bullshit. You totally were bought on that. Like, that was sold for you.
Fair. Well, okay, you didn't burn down the city on your way over here. You've proven at least you can go point A to point B. I trust you've sorted your stuff out, right?
More or less.
Oh, we're good. We're great, right? We're golden.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, golden
Crimson
pony boy.
Pear. So called because, well, he looks like a pear. You'll know it when you see him. So, all right, he's a lover, not a fighter. So he likes to say when he's in court. He really is into animals. So that's why I'm here with the music cranked up. The animals have all scattered. Just
At that point, the carpet just bulges
holy shit.
and Dante just stands up from the floor and goes, about 3 dozen toads, actually.
Yeah.
I did not think that that's where you were going with the into the animals thing, but we're here now.
I will never get used to your clan.
It is
Ever.
a little unsettling. pretty cool, though.
Oh, it's totally cool.
He's under the bridge with about 36 toads.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
You?
despite the fact that he advertises that he is good at it, he's actually really not all that useful in a fight. So, he's number 1. I'm going to have another list of names for you, and it ends tonight with the prince.
Oh,
Okay.
you weren't kidding about spoils and goodies.
No, I'm not fucking around. This is going to be a roll on this city. We're going to take it down piece by piece.
Can't we just skip to the main event?
I would start with
No.
his intelligence and support because he's pretty well entrenched. The guy's got to go.
honey.
though.
Foreplay's important.
You want to take out the whole system so nobody replaces him so easily, don't you?
It's possible. And
You
I've
want to
been
replace him, don't you?
I've been the bumbling idiot in this court for long enough that people are buying it. So if anybody saw it, well, they would underestimate it. Here,
You're gonna have your
we can
little
talk frankly.
praxis flag ready.
I have no idea what you're talking
Uh-huh.
about. That's definitely
I
not my
see
plan
you.
at all.
I see you. I totally see you. Got you.
After that, you guys get a big chunk of the city to do with as you please, and we'll go back to being, mortal enemies or whatever. As far as I'm concerned, we don't have to be at odds. This is a new era, a new day. There's enough blood to go around.
As he's
Fair.
saying that,
Maybe.
can I look into his eyes?
Addressing the
And-
group, I would assume he can see into your eyes.
Yeah. And I would just like to say very intently, if you fuck us over, you end yourself.
Oh, I know. I think if you do the
And-
math here, it's you guys who have all the power to fuck me over.
And
Oh,
that
you're
isn't
doing a
just
thing.
that isn't just a statement. I do want to terminal decree that and see if I can really hit him with
All
that.
Kind of sleeper agent him.
Yeah.
All right.
Pass my rouse check.
Perfect. I believe that's your manip dominate versus his int resolve.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're correct.
Int resolve. Okay.
And Jay, you might have something on your sheet that helps with that, but I have
Or
so
you
many
don't.
pieces of
Maybe
paper.
you don't. Just think about it.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you just accept this,
Maybe I
and
just
that's all right
deal.
too.
Hang on.
But I don't
Right
have a copy
would
of your
be in-
sheet.
Yep. See that?
I'd say Wright is intently watching because she doesn't have to do that shit. So she's watching the whole eye contact thing and she's just like, huh. That's gotta be an incredible pain in the ass.
Christina's like, maybe some men are attractive.
How did we do, Ezra?
That's a crit with 8 successes.
Oh, ho, ho. How did
Yes,
we do, Larkin?
Christina's
6.
very attractive.
With 6 with a critical.
All right. So, sorry, would you mind repeating for us precisely what you have now terminal decreed into him if he fucks you over?
If he fucks us over, he will end himself. An emphasis on the end, like we're talking walk into the sun. End.
Final death.
Not making notes, not at all.
She said, writing in a notebook.
I would
That's
just be like,
unrelated. That's my grocery
you
list.
just-
Don't worry about it.
couldn't you just have given him to me? I can do way worse.
Just keep
I
our
want to
options
see what
open.
you do later.
Stay tuned, darling.
I had that pegged as something you guys might do. And he just kind of looks you in the eye. Just know there's always a backup plan.
Oh, don't be so dour. Smile.
If you can't smile, my new friend here can put a smile on your face.
Oh, I absolutely can.
I can too, but I don't think it's gonna be like what he'll do.
options,
bet,
backup
sugar.
plans.
You can wreck me if you want. It's just gonna mean that you find yourselves in a useless fight here where you don't have any of the information that you need to properly conduct the attack.
Why would we wreck you?
Now,
We're gonna
Nobody
keep you
is-
till the end. It's just
nobody's
if you fuck
doing
us.
anything.
We can
If
have
you
so much
fuck
fun
us.
together. And I just stroked the side of Larkin's cheek again. So much fun together.
Name of the game
I
for me
think,
is
you know-
plausible deniability. Let's make it clear. After this, I'm going to prove to you that this is that I'm on the level. I'm going to help you kill a friend of mine. And then you and I, we are not going to have any face-to-face contact until the end. I want to make that clear so that there's,
Oh, I can make sure that you have no clue who we are.
Great, cool. We all have cool powers. That's great. We all have magical
No, I'm
abilities.
just offering
and-
assurance.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
offering
Great.
assurance.
Wait. Because I think it would be a really neat idea is once we come to the end of this, because you were talking about, new era and all of that jazz. So I was thinking that once we have come to an end of this and we have taken care of your friend, which, Jesus Christ, if that's how you treat your friends, you might as well come to our side. Just saying. Either way, after that has happened, then perhaps me and you and our lovely friend there can have a nice little party and we can show you how to smile. I'm not meaning like that, like legit party. Like we can totally have a thing and it would totally be cool and nothing would happen. And then you never know, maybe we could have some fun in Elysium next time you throw one.
Well, let's see how tonight goes.
I do love a party.
I
Well,
know, right? Do you want to be invited? You can't stand next to the stereo. Clearly that's a bad idea.
No, I keep to myself anyway.
friends, this conversation
He's
is fun,
paying
but
for it.
do we want to take a bite out of this pear?
Well put.
No, I don't want to bite a pear. I don't like pears.
Yeah, let's just go kill him, please.
Oh, that pear. Oh, gotcha. All right, yeah, totally. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, I'll set him up. You knock him down. This one's pretty straightforward. He doesn't know what the hell he's getting himself into, and he's kind of gullible. So this one will be the easy one. But if we can pull this off, then I'll give you a bigger piece of the list. Okay? Sound good?
A question.
Yeah.
Your friend that is next on the list, are they friends with Pear here?
I don't think so.
Is anybody on your list friends with Pear, or is this just some poor, lonely individual?
You see, everything I've heard you guys say since we've started has made me question your motives. So, why are you asking that question?
Utility.
Utility.
He's
all right.
gonna do something gross.
Pear's,
It's not gross, it's art.
Pear is extremely useful to the city, but he's not particularly well liked.
Okay.
Let me put it that way. He's got a lot of people who he owes and a lot of people who owe him, but it's transactional relationships for the most part. So he's
Okay,
a
so
good
now
one
I
to
have
topple
another
off the
question.
top. Fire away.
Do you want him to, like, meet an end? Like, walk into the sun, final death kind of situation?
Not walk into
or,
the sun.
Oh, no, that's not. Just, you know what I mean.
You're a
Don't you know what I mean? You do
speech.
know what I mean. Yeah, either way.
Or
Dead, or do you want him to forget literally his own existence? And you can shape it however you want. Or you could tell me how to shape it, and I can shape it however you want.
dead. I can't take the risk. We can't have anybody.
Okay, fine with me too.
Yeah, the whole of the Primogen Council's got to die.
Very well.
Wait, what did you say?
He's a Primogen. Did I neglect to
You
mention
said-
that?
A whole
Yes,
of the
you
Primitive
did.
Council? So therefore, that's our targets for
Everybody-
the rest of the night is the entire Primogen
Everybody who's
Council.
not already in my corner.
See, if you would have led with this, I would have been much nicer to you because this is going to be really
Right?
fun.
All right, well, let's just go that way then. Let's just go with fun.
Let's.
All
We're
right,
all about fun, didn't you know?
let's see. And he turns down the stereo and just boldly walks right out the door.
Yeah.
Right, and so on the agreement that we're all going to have fun, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break here, and we will see you guys back here in just a minute for the fun. Bye. back. Let's go ahead and rejoin our newly formed pack on their way to face off against the first challenge the city is going to present to them. Herr the Nosferatu. Larkin, you had just walked out of this house and were heading down to meet your contact.
Yep. I'm going to start walking towards the aforementioned spot, the meeting place under the bridge. And I'm going to just let this motley crew determine how they want to take care of this. So this is all on them. This is their test. So I'm gonna just stand there and see what happens.
At the top of the bridge, or have you headed down to meet up with Pear?
I've headed down to meet up with Pear. I'm going to the meeting place.
Okay, so you're walking up to this misshapen figure. You guys are, let's say, close enough to see these two figures coming towards each other, one of whom is human-shaped and one of whom is lumpy-shaped.
Dante, where'd you say those frogs were at?
Oh, they're on the ground behind him.
Okay, so close by. They're not keeping watch.
Oh, they're all over, yes.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do first? Like, what is the order of operations here? Like, are you gonna go in and do your eye contact thing, Ventru? Is that what you're gonna do? Like, is that what you? I don't know what you can do. The only Ventru I know, they don't really are not so good with the, bob and weave shit.
Not all
so.
Ventru are, made equal. But I kind of
Can
look
you
over
throw a
at
punch?
Christina. I look over at Christina. I'm like, I say we just go in and kill him.
That's pretty much what I'm good at. I'm much better at
They can
punching.
go invisible. Has anybody forgotten that that's a thing?
Would you like
If
me
you
to
want to go
distract him?
invisible, I mean, I clearly do not dress to not be seen. I did not spend 40 minutes on my makeup to not be seen.
No, he might go invisible.
You
too.
Yeah, and then I will suffocate him with shadow.
If you can find him, it depends on how fast. You know what? Let's just wing it. It seems like that's what we're gonna do best anyway.
You do realize I can suffocate around 8 yards worth.
You might kill us too, and I'd prefer not to.
I mean, just get 8 yards away from me if he pulls some fuck shit.
What if
I have
he
an
gets 8
idea.
yards away from you? And you can't
Idea?
see him because he's...
Idea. How about I distract him so that he doesn't immediately turn invisible? And then you all can hit him.
Curious. How do you plan to distract him?
I just point up on the bridge. And what is the bridge? They're under the bridge, but what is the bridge over?
Over,
Troubled water.
I guess that's my question.
God!
That's my question. Is it over water and there's a little bank, or is it over dirt? What is it over?
Yeah, it's over, a runoff, basically. And then the sides of it sort of look like that bridge in Greece, where it has the sides that come down and then not quite roads that run alongside it, but clearly meant for city vehicles and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I just point to it and just go, I thought I might go over the edge.
I was just gonna shadow walk it.
I'm going to be
I
boring
think
about it.
that you're both kind of being a little boring. I mean, you're just gonna go over the edge, and I mean,
Oh no, I was just gonna sneak up behind him and then just shove some oblivion straight into his spine. To be perfectly honest.
Away from you all so that you could do the things.
Yeah, I mean, why not both? Dante, you
know
go
what?
do your creepy thing. Chrissy, you go and do the oblivion. Maybe could be a thing. I don't know. We'll find out. But you do your thing. You sneak up and I mean, right? Do you have anything special you want to do, or you just want to jump in with me?
yeah, sure, I'll jump in with you. Why not? That could be fun. Oh, wait, you're talking about... Okay, gotcha. Never mind. Forget that. I said that. You know what? I think I'm just gonna watch for a little while. But maybe I'll jump in. We'll see.
Splendid.
Yeah, he's bad luck Chuck. So, not sure about that.
Oh, I saw his future. Did you tell her about the future that I saw for you?
I mean, you're the one that saw it. You know what happens. I don't feel like I need to go around spreading that around. But anyways, look, we're here now. I mean,
Well,
let's
then,
be real. None of us
shall
have
we?
a great future.
Let's go. And I'm going to activate Shadow Cloak.
And I'm going to walk up on top of the bridge.
Now I'm just gonna walk over to the bridge and have a seat nearby and watch.
Are there any electronics that I can see while walking up? Like stereos or anything that would give away me being nearby?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Like there's power lines, but
I'm gonna
it's
get
everywhere.
as close to them as is reasonable, without being close enough to touch, but like close enough to be nosy.
Close enough to overhear?
Yeah.
Totally by accident, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Can I activate heightened
And
senses
shadowed.
when I go over to the bridge, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to
Wits and resolve.
Mm-hmm.
Wits and resolve if there's a loud noise.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, wits and resolve is reactionary, so like if there's a loud bang, it's to make sure that you don't get deafened.
Oh,
Okay, never mind then, you're all good. So it's just automatic success on that one? You just activate it? Perfect.
It just adds to your awareness and whatnot.
Perfect. So with that activated, you'll be able to hear them. The water that's under the bridge is moving, so you'll be able to hear that, but it's not like roaring. It's not going to make it any more difficult to hear them than if you were down there with them. Anyone else activating anything in the meanwhile?
I was
Yeah.
going to add that I'm also activating Lethal Body. Just to have it ready.
Totes. Perfect. And Ezra, what are you doing? Are you heading down there? Are you standing up top next to Right to watch for now?
Yeah, like not quite next to right, but very much kind of like Overwatch. I want to be able as much as possible, obviously, Christina went Shadow, but to kind of see what everyone's doing, get a sense of where everyone's moving from to jump in at the most advantageous moment.
So if
Perfect.
I see you like walking down with me, she's gonna literally like take your hand and like hold it up and like just kind of lead you with her, and because it's awkward and why the fuck not? So yeah, that's what she's going to do. She's gonna take your hand and just kind of hold it up and lead you with her, and yeah, and then like when you guys kind of sit up somewhere, she's just gonna be like, so we pretend like we're talking and like this is a whole thing, but I'm listening, so don't talk so loud, okay?
I am going to walk up on top of the bridge, stand against the edge, and I'm going to count to 60. Count a minute before I go over the edge. So I'm just
Perfect.
walking at the top and just 1, 2, 3.
Perfect. So, up until we see Dante go over the edge, it's just going to be Larkin and Pear talking. Wright and Christina, as far as I know, you'll be the only two able to hear them. Ezra, you're going to be too far away without heightened senses. Dante, you're at the top of a bridge. So, Larkin, you walk up on Pear, and he looks the same as he always does, followed by a menagerie of usually slimy creatures. Those seem to be what he brings with him all the time. It's why, despite being a primogen, he's not particularly well liked by court, because he shows up with these things.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got the collar of this big trench coat pulled up to try to hide his face, but this isn't a damaged-looking Nosferatu. Pear looks like a bunch of pears stacked on top of each other. He's got his hips kind of jut off to one side that lead up into this thin body that lead up into his face, and one side of his jaw is jutted off to one side and too larger that leads up into the thin face. He's just put together all wrong when you look at him. Is it ready to go?
Hey, bud.
Yeah, hey, dude, my guy. Is it ready to go?
This is a courtesy call. I gotta let you know. The prince is going early.
You mean the prince is going early?
He's called it for tonight, not for tomorrow. He's making a move on the Primogene Council.
Doesn't make any sense. Did he find out?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But he's making a move before I can.
We gotta get the fuck out of here, dude.
We do. I don't think we should speak again. I'm just gonna bail out of town. I can't be a part of this.
What? Yeah, alright. I'll let the clan know to go to ground.
Okay. You do what you do best. Stay safe, okay? And I hold out my hand.
Okay. And he holds out as he holds out his hand, the forearm is bulged and slim, and he goes to take your hand in this, like, awkward... And up above...
And I go over the edge. I've roused. I get hungrier by 1. I'm going to flat hit the ground, but I'm activating Earth Meld, one with the land, as I hit. So I just come over, and there is a loud, like... loud enough to distract, but I just immediately go into the ground.
The second that he distracts, I pass my rouse check. I'm going to use Touch of Oblivion to sink my acrylics onto either side of his spine and Touch of Oblivion through his spine.
Oh my goodness.
Nice. So yeah, to start it off, I'm just going to grab his hand and Potence hold it.
Nice.
So that if he decides to disappear, I'm still hanging on to him.
So, for a second, this Nosferatu is basically torn in 3 different directions as he goes to shake this hand, looks to see Dante come over the thing, gets Potence grabbed, and then gets Oblivioned in the spine. This has been a bad night for Pear. Christina, do you have to roll for damage, or does that just insta-jib him?
Duag.
Normally it would be contested to grip him, but
You got that.
He takes 2 ag with a crippling injury.
Woof. Yeah, and to his spine.
Good start.
Good start. So, you get his spine, and it just disintegrates in your hand as your Oblivion wraps around him and destroys the not even living tissue still holding him upright. And he goes down as his spine basically folds over as he's now crippled from the waist down for all intents and purposes. And he doesn't fall like a normal person might fall as the weight of his hips pulls him off to the right side. But Larkin, you've still got him in this Potence handshake, so it pulls him off to the other side. So he falls like one might say like a sack of potatoes, but perhaps more accurately like a sack of pears to the ground.
And Storyteller, it is up to you if I take a stain for doing that kind of mutilation.
I'm gonna say no. In this game, it's going to take some rather extreme brutality, which apparently I do not consider spinal mutation to be, to start throwing stains out.
Wonderful. So
That's
the moment
good.
the moment he hits the ground, since I'm doing one with the land, I can see this happen through the toads. I've rolled to come back up. I'm going to come back up out of the ground, just horizontal, so he hits the ground, and then I just rise up directly underneath him, wrap my arms around him, and I'm going to rip with flens.
Oh, goodness.
I have passed my rouse check on that, and I basically have to sort of make a strength and brawl roll, and I get a modifier to rip flesh from his body.
Mm-hmm.
While that happens, I put my hand on Wright's shoulder and I just kind of whisper, "You want to just watch?"
For the moment. For the moment, because, it was too easy. Way too easy.
Next one.
Shh, pay attention.
Is he? I guess is he trying to get away at all, or is he unable to because of?
Yes, he is trying to get away, but he seems to not yet be totally cognizant of the fact that he can't get back up. So he's trying to, like, regain his footing while you're doing this to him.
So if it's uncontested, then I got 3 successes. If it is contested, then there'll be a margin. And if it is uncontested with the modifier I get, then it's 5 superficial damage of me just pulling skin off of him. While I hug him.
You guys see that as why don't you go ahead and describe how you sink your fingers in and what have you.
Right, so he hits the ground flat and then just, again, like elevator up, horizontal, Dante just rises up underneath him, like embraces him, don't go anywhere yet, and just drags the fingers across the back, sinking like into the coat, into the flesh, and just pulling them like you're pulling through like a very thick like sand, and just stretching it open like flaying.
All see this. Christina, a large horde of toads start hopping menacingly towards you.
That's a great phrase.
I
right
love
there.
it.
Menacing toads.
It shouldn't be menacing, but it's like you can feel that these toads are pissed.
Fantastic. Then I am going to... This is probably all still considered one scene, so...
Totally.
My arms of Araman are still out, and I'm just going to start playing whack-a-mole with these toads with my arms of Araman.
Whack-a-toad.
Yeah, whack-a-toad.
Perfect.
And I'm just going to be smashing them as flat as possible into the ground.
Awesome. Can I get Dex and Obfuscate from you just to see how you do it, your whack-a-toad?
Yeah, let's see. Where is my dex? I am using a new sheet that I don't know where all my stuff is on it. Okay.
Said Dex and Oblivion?
Yeah, dex and Oblivion.
Yes. Sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Dex and the spooky shadows.
While we are waiting around, just kind of looking to see what is going on, like watching kind of ish, and can I make a roll to see if there's any other issues?
1 crit.
Okay. We'll come right back to that. What were you looking for, right? Sorry?
I want to see if there's any other issues, like if there's anybody else around that may have been just walked up, or that we have missed, or if maybe these toads are going to somehow become this crazy, like, thing, or melt. I don't fucking know. I don't know toads, man. Toads aren't my thing.
You want advance notice of the toad monster, I understand.
Precisely.
Let's get a wits and awareness. I'll get one from Ezra and Wright, although Wright, you have your heightened senses up, so I believe that adds your aspects to it.
Yep.
Christina, you are playing a very successful game of Whack-a-Toad. There's quite a number of them, but that was a solid degree of success. So you are definitely thinning this herd out very easily, and they are getting flattened into the ground. And what's really benefiting you is that as the arms come down, they aren't just targeting one, they're coming down in these, like,
taking out a line of them.
Yeah, you're basically playing tower defender here. And as they're coming up, these smooshed bodies of toads are just kind of going kerflap against the sides of this embankment.
I love it so much.
I got 5 critical.
5 critical? 1?
Wait. 5, hold on. 5 critical, that means it's 7, right?
Yeah.
Alright, I did not add this. I just... Okay, yeah, 7.
7 and 1. So Dante, you still have hold of him in your arms, so you on your next turn will get another go at him if you'd like it. Ezra and Wright. Wright, you notice it. Ezra, you won't notice it unless Wright chooses to point it out. Someone has come up from the far side of the bridge, so not the rich side, but on the poor side still behind you, and has a cell phone out and seems to be taking video footage.
I'm gonna grab him and be like, paying attention. And I'm gonna turn him and just show him.
And there's someone
See
standing there
me?
with like an iPhone.
Do
Now,
they
do you
look
wanna have
mortal or
fun?
do they look kindred?
Can I hear a heartbeat?
With your heightened senses, yes, you can hear a heartbeat, and a fast one at that.
They're very scared. I can hear their heart. You want to have fun now? Or is that below your caliber of Ventru awesomeness? I'm genuinely curious.
I don't know. There's never a time to not have fun. They seem to have this in hand. I would say, and I kind of take her hand. I'm like, and lift her up from the ground. Like, this is our moment. Lead her on.
Let's go. Hey, I start going over to this person that is videoing this.
All right. You guys are heading that way. Dante, you still have Pear in your grasp. Just before you do whatever you're about to do, Larkin, are you choosing to do anything, or are you just watching?
So I've got him Potence grabbed by the hand right now. It seems like the crazy man who just rose out of the ground has this well in hand. So in that moment, I just kind of like lean in close. He's probably screaming, but like right in his ear. And I guess you'd be the only one close enough to hear this. I just go, "Sorry, bud, you knew too much." And then pretend like I'm completely ignorant to this attack going on and go, oh my god, and run away as fast as I can. Just in case there's extra eyes on. That's my main concern. If there are other eyes, then I can claim deniability. And then, yeah, I run away screaming.
Dante, you hear what he says to Pear, and then you see him put on this act. Christina, through sort of the side of your vision, you see Larkin do this very dramatic, oh my goodness, and bail out of here. Dante, what would you like to do next?
I suppose I'm just going to keep folding him.
Are you doing this as an attack now, or are you just sort of enjoying yourself with this figure? It's a very interestingly put together figure. If this was a mortal, its body certainly wouldn't have stayed together in this shape. And you do seem to have some time to yourself if you want to play with it.
I do.
What?
What you asked for.
I think since I've got my hands dug into him, I'm going to instead roll for flesh crafting while I've got him attached, and I'm going to just start pushing back in, like wrapping my legs around his legs, my arms around his arms, and I just want to cylindrical shape this man.
Go ahead. Fleshcraft. I don't even know if there's a contested roll for that, but he's well past contention.
It is stamina and resolve.
Let's see how he does, despite all that friggin' damage on him.
Ooh.
God, that smile is so creepy, but I love it so
Right?
much.
Oof. So we got one success on that.
I got a 5 messy critical, which triggers my lore sheet. I'd like to ask a question about the situation to my beast.
All right.
And I would like to know if it seems feasible that this one told anyone else or brought anyone else to this location. And you give a truthful answer just as my beast.
So you hear that quiet growl that is your beast, the kind of sound that only you could really speak to answer it. No. Creature like this doesn't work in a pack. This is This is an amphibian. This is a lonely, sad little thing.
Lonely amphibian. Let's make him a lonely worm. And I just continue to squeeze in. And I'm just going to flesh craft. The arms are going to vanish into his sides. The legs are going to fuse together. I'm just going to keep squeezing.
And was at one point screaming. At some point he started trying to beg. Now he appears to just be whimpering into his own flesh as it closes around him, almost cocooning him inside of himself. And you are now you are now holding a cold, cylindrical being? Perhaps?
Well, he's not dead yet.
He's barely a being, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll leave you to your hug for the time being. Christina, you have just about finished off these toads. You have one particularly ugly one that maybe was in charge of the other toads. It's one of those large horned toads, so it's got the like grayish mottled skin, and it's staring you down. You can tell this toad has it in for you, and as you stare at it,
You got the mega boss.
flicks its tongue out at you aggressively, totally.
That's the real BBEG.
I am going to...
This is the prince.
I'm going to turn 2 of my arms to essentially Hulk hands either side of the toad.
Oh my god, okay.
That noise is gonna
I'm
be
sorry.
great.
Take a stain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna give you the stain. This was such
Killed
a
an innocent
good-hearted toad.
This toad just wanted to help his people.
Fuck them toads.
So it's sitting there, flicking its tongue out at you, and these 2 arms on either side of you raise up and curl themselves over and smash in at this toad and squish it between it, leaving only the extended tongue still twitching on the ground.
Gross. And I'm going to... Is that all the toads?
Yes, you've taken care of all the toads. A couple of them have fallen into the water. A couple of them have just sort of toaded off.
I'm going to turn around, see what Dante is doing. No thank you. And I'm going to see if I can spot Ezra and Wright.
All right. So you continue to turn because you're like, nope. And Ezra and Wright, you guys have made your way towards this human with the cell phone, who didn't really seem to see you coming, as they were just kind of like, what in the fuck? You know those people at concerts who don't watch the concert because they're so busy recording it on their phone? That's this guy as you walk towards him. Yeah, he's such a millennial. You know he had avocado toast this morning.
Oh my god.
You can just feel it.
So yeah, as we're going up, I'm gonna kind of grab his hand and just like follow my lead. Oh my god! See what just happened? Oh my god! Whatever are we gonna do? Is that a phone? Have you called the police yet?
No, gonna put it on YouTube.
What the fuck? Did you see what just... Why haven't you called the police? Have you called anyone? Have you texted anybody? Have you told anybody that what's going on?
This shit's fucked. You gotta listen to it. You gotta call somebody. I mean, you can't fucking record right now.
Oh my god, give me your phone! And I'm just gonna take it from him. And just like...
Oh, that was expensive. That's the new one.
It'll be fine. And then I'm just gonna turn and just look at Ezra and be like... You or me? You need the eyes, I don't.
I lock eyes with the person, and I just like, whatever she says, I just like step out of the way and make room for her to come forward.
That's so sweet.
Does-
I get to tell him what to do?
This guy just kind of nods and is like, yeah, that makes sense. She'll know what to do. What should I do, lady? I mean, you're like middle-aged. You should know how to handle a situation like this. Like, you got
And
kids,
I'm
right?
just going to look at him, I'm just going to say, everything that you knew, your life, your family, your friends, your entire existence, was nothing. It's gone. There's nothing left. There's nothing but a shell. It's hollow. It's a space that's nothing but a void. You have nothing. You are nothing. You're empty. And I'm gonna use
Phone.
You have not got that either, darling. I'm gonna use the taboo.
Tabula rasa?
Tabula rasa, yes. Why do I keep calling it tabula? I don't fucking know, because I keep saying tabuli, I think. It's whatever. Tabula rasa, yes. I'm gonna use them. He called me fucking old and middle-aged and shit. Fuck him. No. He gets to be nothing now. He doesn't exist.
She was like, I don't know why, but I suddenly feel really attracted to Wright, and I don't know where she is.
Christina's just bouncing around tonight.
Christina's like,
that
oh,
is-
dang it, they're all attractive, turns around and sees Dante and goes, nope.
No, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's gonna be 2 rouses, but it's obviously not gonna be contested because, again, mortal brain.
Yeah. And I'm just like talking about how I'm good. I'm just gonna continue just to talk to him and tell him just how there's nothing. He is nothing. There is no memories, no family, nothing, no friends, no history. Are you even born? How did you become? Maybe you didn't. Maybe you're not actually here. You don't actually exist. You're a figment of someone else's imagination.
Is worthless. I'm nobody. And he
You should
just
disappear.
kind of
There's a river back
drags
there.
his feet. Yeah. Can a figment even die?
You can find out.
Yeah. And he doesn't even walk down the embankment. He kind of starts to walk down it, and he doesn't pick his feet up all the way, so he just kind of ends up tumbling down and sits at the bottom for a minute and flops face first into the water and just kind of lies there. He could get up. He's not. And you see the bubbles for a few minutes. But not forever. And now you have a phone and a getaway car.
I'm just gonna look at Dante. I'm gonna look at Dante, or not Dante, sorry. Shit! Ugh, names, man. Oh my god, it would be, yeah, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna look at Ezra, not Dante, because Dante's doing the worm thing. I don't want to look at that. I want to look at Ezra. I'm just gonna say, I might have. You know what? I don't fucking care. He called me old, and I'm just gonna walk towards walk toward Christina, and I'm just gonna be like, I have a phone here. Take it, and just hand it to her.
Do you take the phone, Christina?
I'm gonna be like, you know that's
No,
a bad
take it.
idea. Is that the goal?
Take the damn phone, Christina.
Got it.
All right, good, fantastic. No more phone. It doesn't work anymore.
right as it's gonna like explode in my hand, I'm like, fuck.
And it
Okay.
little curl of smoke.
So
then
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna walk
take it.
over-
This
oh, sorry.
guy was. This was a problem. This thing. Sorry, I was busy.
Oh, he was filming you guys.
Oh, that's gross.
I wanted to
Okay.
upload it to YouTube.
Even more gross. Okay.
He didn't call anybody, so.
Well,
But he did
it's
call me
so still.
old.
called you old?
Thought
Oh,
he was
God.
middle-aged and probably had kids and shit. Like, what the fuck is that even about?
Fucking teenagers these days, I swear to God.
Did we handle the situation already? Is it dead yet?
You don't want to look directly at it. Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
look
done.
directly at it and be like, ew.
I told you.
Ezra, would you like to look directly at it while we're all looking at it?
Actually, Ezra is looking for Larkin and walking, like, just intentionally not looking directly at it. He's seen Sanders before. He
hear
doesn't
it.
need to
You can
experience
hear it.
this. Yeah, it's in the ear. But he's walking up to Larkin.
Larkin, so you ran away screaming like a small girl.
Yep.
How far did you go?
I went back to the safe house. So
Ezra, you saw him.
I saw you
yeah,
leave. Okay.
We'll say he's coming up the embankment and is...
I have left at perhaps a higher speed than the average human might be able to run. Just a little bit faster, not by much.
Then, in that case, kind of seeing him run past, I let him go, and then I do walk up to right where Dante is doing this. And I just kind of like crouch down. I'm like, I mean, how much longer? Can you wrap this up, literally, figuratively, both?
He needs to die.
Fine. And I just lean really close to Pear, like where Pear's head would be. And I just say, "You're beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise." And I latch on to him, and I'm going to Diablerize him.
Yeah, I wasn't taking the nos. I didn't want it.
Yeah, no.
No. We'll let you have that one, buddy.
He mules into your shoulder as you're speaking to him, and then you finish him off.
So I go down to humanity because there's no contest in this. But I am rolling against his resolve and blood potency.
Resolve and blood potency?
Yes.
Alright.
Like a solar eclipse, you don't look directly at it.
Yeah.
Now, despite choosing to run this game for some reason, I am not all that familiar with the Diablerie rules.
No worries.
So he got 2 successes on that.
Wonderful.
So I'll give you a lot of practice.
Yeah, I got 7. So the book says 5 points per success, 5 XP per success towards like learning his disciplines and whatnot.
So he will deal with that kind of
Yeah.
off screen and come back to it next episode with you having perhaps gained some stuff, perhaps not, because poor Pear. So this flesh burrito in your arms crumbles away to even less than the nothing it already was. And somewhere in the distance, you hear the echo of a very perturbed toad that has gotten away.
I just kind of lay back. Lovely. I'll just sit straight up.
Are you quite done?
Was it yummy?
Hmm.
I imagine it kind of tasted gross, like frogs maybe, or like slime, dirt.
It had its
or
own unique
pond
taste.
scum.
I think I've had enough frogs to last me a lifetime.
Yeah, highly don't recommend. Definitely don't
and I'm
recommend.
gonna gesture to the French cuisine graveyard that I have left.
Nope, I'm good. That's not my taste. Sorry. Anybody else? The lady has presented you with things.
In the aftermath of this, I'm going to take out my Razor phone and I'm going to text Larkin. And I am going to ask, just send, trying to word it carefully. I'm going to ask, what's the McDonald's number 2?
Larkin, you get this text.
That's the McDonald's number 2.
There's like some pink heart emojis and sparkle emojis and a little fairy emoji with it too.
Oh my god, yes.
You know, the fairy emoji that says this message is menacing, but I'm acting cute about it.
The universal understanding.
Yeah. I'm going to reply with a message that just says, back where we met.
I'm gonna click it shut. The good old days when you could just click your phone shut. Just, Alright, we're going back to home base, I guess.
Wonderful. And I immediately shift to look like Pear, like instantaneously.
Oh,
Just
no,
the skin
please
just
don't do
rolls
that.
over
That was
and
gross.
Pear.
That is very unnecessary.
Can you just, like, if I give you a little of my blood, will you just look like a boy version of me instead, please? Because I don't want you to look like me, but, like, you know.
We'll come back to that. And I'm going to take just something out of the coat that Pear was wearing just to hold on to it for later. Just stuff it in my pocket.
A memento.
All right.
You,
All I'm saying is...
You reach into his pocket. Sorry.
Go ahead.
You reach into his pocket and you pull out a little keychain, and it's one of those ones where when you squish it, the eyes bulge out really big and then come back in. And it's a little frog. And when you squeak it,
And yeah, in Pear's like Pear's body, I just go,
Don't do that.
let's go.
Don't do that. Stop. I don't like that. That's more annoying than the other. Just don't do that. I don't like that.
This
Why
is
are
why
you
your clan is so gross.
the way you are?
They're not gross. No, stop, guys. There's not.
Ezra
There is
understands
nothing.
me, okay? Ezra understands me.
And why do you think that Ezra understands you? There is a reason that Lasombra and Ventru hate each other. You're too much alike, for fuck's sake.
You know, opposites attract.
Sometimes it's our differences that draw us together, you know?
Oh shit, have I been like totally like blocking some shit here? My bad. Yo, my bad.
No,
I'm so sorry.
you're invited
It's
here.
cool.
You're invited.
Oh really?
Of course.
As long as you don't change to look like fucking somebody else. I mean, like, the bar is very low. No offense.
The bar is
higher
Don't
than
know
you
how
would
to
dirt.
take that because you set the bar really low and said I was invited, but then you had to specify that the bar was really low. So I'm not really sure how I want to take that from you.
The bar is on the ground and you're like up here. So it's
She
a
said
compliment.
it better. Take lessons
did.
from
She
her.
Yeah, he's
She
a
has a knack for
Ventru.
that.
He's never gonna say it better than me. Anyway, let's go. We can.
Okay, fine. And then I'm just gonna kind of look back at Dante and just be like, don't worry, you're still. Well, this isn't beautiful, but you as you were was great. Great.
You don't even know if what he was even him.
I don't care. I would have eaten it. I won't eat that.
and I love that Dante is still having Dante's smile, but with Pear's off-sided jaw face. It's fabulous.
Why is it always the crazy girls that are hot? Anyway, let's go.
So you guys are
I
heading
am not crazy.
back up.
I will have you know I am not crazy. There is a whole nother word for what I am, and it is not crazy.
Yes, it's Malkavian.
Words out of my mouth. Shall we go?
Yeah. And I'm just gonna
Fine.
walk with Ezra.
I'm gonna put my arm around Dante's arm and just be like, why not just don't look at me like that? Make it stop. I mean, I still think you're a treasure. Don't get me wrong. You're a treasure in the other forms or whatever. I don't like Nosferatu. It's not my taste.
Would you like me to switch back?
Really would, honestly.
I reach for her hand. Like, do you mind?
Sure.
And I'm going
I
to
will
take
kill you
one
if you do
hunger.
anything.
I'm going to take one hunger off of right, and as I do, it just melts off back to Dante.
Oh shit. Okay. Fine. I need to eat soon.
Thank you. You can have it back later if you'd like.
I'm gonna probably need to, or somebody's gonna have a really bad day. Night. Whatever.
Take her arm again and follow after Ezra and Christina.
Yeah,
And she's just gonna be like, and see, this is good. This is a good form. We'll stay with this form. It's good. It's great. You're beautiful.
So I'm gonna lead them to where I stashed the getaway car.
Are you guys going back to the building where Larkin was first?
Yeah, I thought we had to drive to that building.
No, this was just the one at the top of the embankment where he told you to meet Pear.
Okay, yeah, no, we'll go there.
Okay. So you head in, and Larkin has situated himself quite comfortably on the couch that once held the sleeping man who jumped off a bridge recently.
Hey, buddy.
Gotta say, I am impressed.
It's done.
Yeah, I saw. Well done. That was...
You might have a body to deal with later, by the way. Just saying.
Oh, well, you're talking about the guy you were talking to by the river?
He was filming. Don't worry, it's not an issue. She handled that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
He handled the other.
Cool. Well, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with bodies. Bodies are incidental. Maybe try to make them look like they died of, you know, non-supernatural means if you can. But otherwise,
pretty sure he drowned.
Otherwise, you can kill anybody you want. Just go crazy. I don't give a shit.
Cool. Totally drowned. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
He didn't
Speaking
pull his
of
face out of the water, so
not
pretty sure he
giving a
drowned.
shit and people that need to die.
Yeah.
We're on a list here, and we're on a bit of a clock. So
Yeah.
what you got next?
Here you go. You did good. Then he hands you a typed up list. So,
You literally made a fucking... Are you sure this isn't your first time? Jesus Christ.
I'm absolutely sure this isn't my first time. If anybody comes across that, there's a reason why I reacted the way that I did. Basically, as far as after tonight is concerned, you guys work for the prince. Until it comes time for you to do the final doing, you are taking out the Primogen Council on behalf of the prince.
We get to frame the prince? Oh, I'm gonna shout it from the goddamn rooftops, I promise.
Yeah, go for it. Yep.
Yeah.
Prince Aiden sends his regards. Just like tell everybody.
Can I like tag a building, like where I've killed somebody, and just be like, from Prince Aiden?
Well, from Aiden, maybe. Prince probably wouldn't be a great idea.
That feels like something a prince would not want on a building since like Masquerade.
You guys are just like totally cramping my style.
I
got it in
know,
mind.
but
No
if
tags, got it.
For framing the prince, we have to pretend like we give a shit about the Masquerade.
No.
Fine.
The prince could have very easily. I mean, you haven't met him. This is a move he might make.
Oh.
I look forward to meeting him. I want to see all the moves that he can make.
You'll meet him at the end when the rest of the council turns their back on him.
Yay.
Yeah, but how you approach this list, entirely up to you. How you dispatch them, entirely up to you. I just needed to see you guys could do what you do effectively enough. And answer is yes.
So let's talk for a second, you and I. They can be involved too, but you and I. There's a trust dynamic that is being established between us, right? Between all of us? Yeah, okay. How much do you trust me right now? Because, like, we just killed somebody for you.
I make a habit of not trusting.
All right. So, I mean, that's a really good idea, but here's the thing. That took a lot out, you know, doing the thing. Yeah. A girl's gotta eat, and I got a certain taste, and you kind of match it. I'm not saying that I'll take all of it, but I would like to just top off a little, just to take the edge off. Otherwise, you don't know, I might do some crazy shit around here.
You sure that's a good idea for the man that, you know, is having us do all this? I just don't like you risking a bond.
Oh no, that's what our little group share earlier was for. We won't have to worry about that.
We're good. But no, I'm just like real.
I'm trying to not be insulting of our guest here.
And I'm trying to make sure I don't do crazy shit later.
Go to it.
Hell yes. And I'm just gonna latch on and bite in, and I'm gonna take a hunger off. Just one. I'll just take one.
I'm still sitting pretty at 0, so.
And you
Me
can
too.
you can see that he's in a position to basically be able to cold cock her in the side of the head if she takes too much, but he's not, like, you can see the combat stance that's maybe a little bit more veteran than he's been letting on this whole time. And then when she lets go, it's like, okay, I am back to being a wimp.
Delicious. Thanks, darling. That wasn't so bad, was it?
Oh, if that's all it takes to earn your trust, I'm happy to make that sacrifice.
Sure.
Okay. So, all right. Thanks for the honeydew list, I guess. Bye.
That all you need?
For now.
Is
Be in touch,
there...
I'm sure.
I want to imagine that you give information up front, but you're kinda not acting like that. So, is there anything else we need to know?
Prince has got to
What
be
she
last.
said.
I got to reiterate that. Prince has got to be last.
Oh my god, we got it.
Okay. All right. Well,
You
then
keep asking if we got anything else. Is there anything you need to be giving us on this?
that list should cover pretty much everything that you need.
Okay.
And if you guys cause a lot of noise, or if you make a stink, or whatever, if you need me to come bail you out of something, I've got lots and lots of resources and contacts that can keep you out of the public eye. So just text me, let me know, keep me posted. I'll be working the back end.
I'll save you in my phone.
Do.
Keep working that back end.
So I'm just out of curiosity, if by some chance I happen to get a little famished again, are you somebody that I can put in my phone too as a call for that?
I have a feeling you're going to be able to get plenty where you're going.
Fair enough.
Let's
Had
let
to
our
ask. I mean, does
friend-
anybody blame me for asking, right? Free meal?
No
right?
blame, but let's let our friend move along. We got a list here to look over, decisions to make. Time is of the essence.
If
as
you
they
need
say.
if you need resources, I can arrange drops too. Just let me know what you need. I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
All right. You guys have fun. Good luck.
Oh, we're gonna have plenty
wow.
of fun.
I get the feeling. Can't wait to see
I
how this
know.
turns out.
Thanks for thinking of us. Bye.
See ya.
Mr. Ezra, who's next on our list?
Oh, I look
mean, are
over the
we
list.
taking-
I assume there are several choices here. What do I kind of see when I pan over the list?
Having a look over the list, there are a number of names on here. There appears to be the entire Primogen Council, as far as you can see, as well as the Sheriff, the Scourge, the Harpy, the Keeper, and some information on the Prince himself. They don't appear to be arranged in any kind of particular order, but the very next one on the list is Mr. Fields, the Ventru Primogen. And it has underlined that he is at the stupid tall tower, the one that you couldn't miss even if you were literally blind. And that has been underlined a couple of times in pen. Apparently, after he finished this list, Larkin got a little excited about the ideas.
And during this, Christina just has her chin on his shoulder reading the list.
There are, for most of them, names, a location. Some of them have a little bit of extra information. Some of them have, I don't know, basically.
I mean, it appears our friend was very excited about this one right here, and I kind of point to, was it Mr. Fields? You know, everything being equal, I think this is our next target.
He's top of the page after all.
Just
How
moving
you feel
right
about
down.
taking down one of your own?
Look, sword before clan, you know?
Hell yeah.
I'm curious, though. Which one of you is gonna fight for that flavor?
I mean, is there a Lasombra on the list?
Number on the list, yes. Evangeline the Lasombra.
We swapping
Ooh.
flavors or taking our own?
Maybe I want to taste a Lasombra.
Oh, you can have
There-
that later, dear.
That's hot.
One way or another,
Dig it.
you know?
How about whoever gets in first?
It's a deal.
Oh, you guys are gonna be so much entertainment tonight. Jesus Christ, I'm so stoked about this.
All right, let's get to my car and go. You guys are gonna have to move the bodies.
By the way, just in case anybody's wondering, the guy earlier, if we don't need him anymore, I totally want dibs on that because that was delicious.
You can have him.
I think he'll be useful long term.
I say
God
we
damn
keep
it.
him till the end. Get that nice surly boy praise for killing the prince, and then we just
I want to see what he's planning.
Okay, fine. We'll wait because that's interesting too, and I'm really curious also. But I still have
all
dibs.
share him like an old-fashioned milkshake.
You have dibs, dear.
Hey. Okay, fine. And then that's really hot. You two and the oof.
That's why our
Wait for
clans
that
are
to
the
play
best,
out.
darling.
Very enemies to lovers.
My favorite. Okay, anyway, let's go to
Best
the car.
friends.
Let's go to the car, and I'm gonna lead them to the car. I'm gonna get in the driver's seat and just kind of like shove the body into the back floorboard.
Easily done. He's in the floppy stages. The rigor mortis has not yet set in, so you just kind of ass over tea kettle him into the back.
And his friend's still sitting in the back, so.
Yeah, with a look of like like it's equal parts shock and betrayal. Like, how dare this hot girl he was gonna have sex with murder him?
It's
beautiful.
what was that?
Poetic.
That-
That shit.
Oh, there's a movie of that. I can't remember the title.
I'm going to get into the back seat and just sort of push the other body on top of the one on the floorboards. And over the course of the ride, I just rolled the 6 successes. I'm just going to slowly just press them down into floor mats.
So, I would have just been like, oh, shotgun. You know what? No, I'm really curious as to what he's gonna do. So I'm gonna sit in the back with him, and you two can talk and finish up. And don't mind me. I won't listen in. I swear.
So
I'm in the driver's seat.
Christina
I took
is
the keys
driving.
out of his pocket.
Oh yeah, they were probably still in the car. I mean, he was
Yeah.
driving when you murdered him. So Christina's in the driver's seat. Ezra, I'm assuming you are getting in the passenger seat. Dante and Wright, you guys are in the back creating the most custom floor mat a car has ever had. And I think that is where
right there.
I think that's where we're gonna bring tonight's game to a vicious, violent end. Thank you guys so much for this. This was a phenomenal first episode. So let's go ahead and do our round of outros, and we will go ahead and start off with Christina again.
Hi, I have been Christina the La Sombra. I am Ellie Collins. I am the storyteller for ATL by Night, and I do events over at Gehenna Gaming. You can find me on Twitter at Ellie_A_Collins.
And next we have Dante, our smiling fiend.
Hi, it's Zachary Vaudo here, playing Dante Edmonds. My Twitter is it's Zach. I am on ATL by Night usually. I'm also on Adjacent by Night on levelup_TTV with half the people on the screen. I regularly appear on Martlet Games, Carrion Comfort Studios, Gehenna Gaming, The Bard's Playhouse, and everywhere that tabletop games are played.
Right, and next up we have Ezra, truly the logical center of our group.
That's me. I'm Ezra, Andrew Strother. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. You can find me on Twitter at Roll Persuasion. I host a podcast occasionally every week where I chat with awesome creative people in tabletop gaming and entertainment. Ellie is on there. Go check out her episode. I also am Talith on Second Star to the Right, a Neverland adventure. If you like some Peter Pan fun, go check that out.
Great show.
Super fun.
It's a wonderful show.
Sounds cool. All right, next we have right, or whatever the opposite of logical center of the group is.
I'm just all over the fucking place. I'm just like, yep, here, there, everywhere. I am Samantha McLarty, and I have been right, the Malkavian for this lovely pack of crazy people. They call me crazy shit.
You didn't even murder any toads.
I didn't kill any toads. I didn't even kill the Nosferatu. I do have a higher body count than everybody except for maybe Ellie at this point. Currently.
Talking about like murders or
I'll never tell.
Give us the rest of the episodes to answer that.
I am on Adjacent by Night with Zach and Lex, and I play Elena there, and it is intense and interesting show. I highly recommend it. I do lots of things here, there, and everywhere. I'm on London's Bleeding on Martlet Games as Lillian Crawford, the Ventru. And yeah, there's a lot of shit. I do a lot of one-shots. Pretty much if anybody asks me to do a game, I'm probably going to say yes if I have the availability. So I'm really bad at fucking outros, so check links at Just S. McLarty. Hopefully my link tree may be plugged in. I don't fucking know what I'm doing at this point. Just go to the next person. I'm really bad at outros. Just do the
Just go. All right. And next we have our architect of this misadventure, Oliver Larkin.
Hi, I'm Jay. You can find me on Instagram at Sounds of 604. You can also find me on Vancouver by Night on Skin Deep, which is also run by the lovely Lex, and also Ghouls Night over on Martlet, which Zach was the architect of. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys get up to. I got what I expected, I think, which is chaos and insanity. So yeah, this will be interesting.
Right, and I was Lex, your storyteller of whatever this was tonight. Join us again next week as we continue on with a bit of Ultraviolence. In the meanwhile, you can see me for the third plug in almost a row of Adjacent on Saturdays as part of the Vancouver Takeover. Saturday Takeover. Oh my god, I'm bad at things. I'm also on other channels. I ran Skin Deep. I ran a Christmas-themed 10 Candles game that's available on Martlet. And of course, you can find me on the socials and on my OnlyFans and all that kind of stuff as a redhead vixen. And if you enjoyed the soundscape and the soundtrack of this episode tonight, which unfortunately none of my cast actually got to hear at the time of recording, please check out Same Page Media. They do all of my production value, anything you see with the images, with the posters, with the soundtrack, and they are available on Twitter and Instagram. And that is it for tonight. We will see this as yet unnamed pack again next week, along with a brand new guest star. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.